the burning sun, I'll be the bride and black that's making you run. I feel alright and we'll feel alright, 'cause we'll work it out. Yeah, we'll work it out. I'll be doing this if you ever doubt, till the love runs out, till the love runs out. I'll be your ghost, your game, your stadium. I'll be your 50,000 clapping like one. I feel alright and I feel alright, 'cause I work it out. Yeah, I worked it out. I'll be doing this if you ever doubt, till the love runs out, till the love runs out. I've got my mind made up and I can't let go. I'm killing every second till it saves my soul. I'll be running till the love runs out, till the love runs out. And we'll start a fire and we'll shut it down, till the love runs out, till the love runs out.
All right, it's that time again. It's prime time with Jerry McKee, and I got a special guest with you tonight, and it's Shon Morris, and you've probably seen him all over the place. He sings some great gospel music. He's got a great video out of him singing some gospel music, and he sings with different people. He sings by himself. He sings in the church. He sings. He's a director, a choir director in the church. He sings in the shower, but he don't let nobody in there. But he sings everywhere. And I'm going to introduce you to Shon Morris. And I tell you what, he's a great guy, and you go recognize him. He's all over the place, and especially if you go eat some too. Shon, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm doing great. You're looking good.
Oh, thank you so much.
And all and say, Spike sees this right. This is not going to be a tear jerker, you know.
Not right.
Right. And I didn't want him to get him sweating, you know, where I'm going to drill him down, dump, you know.
Right.
On those right there. Well, how you been doing today? I mean, you're all over the place in singing. And one question I want to ask is, how did you really get started singing? How did you know you just had that voice? Did someone in your family or they singing and active I mean, how did you get that first little thing? Somebody says, "Oh, you can sing."
Well, I mean, I come from a singing family. My mother loved to sing, and also I have several family members that sang. I had great grandparents that played country music years ago. So that was one good thing that kind of got me started with interested in music and all. So
Call from Jillian Paris. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail. Okay, go back.
Hello.
Hello, is it?
Mr. McKee,
Yes, it is.
is yes, this is Jill in Paris. I'm Sean's aunt. We're trying to get on and watch the live broadcast, and evidently we're doing something wrong. We're
Well,
on Facebook. Is that what we need to be on?
or YouTube. Sean, what do you think about that?
I'm excited that somebody's trying to watch me.
Sean can hear you, and everybody can hear you live too.
Oh, great.
Now,
So,
do you have a
YouTube,
do you have a Facebook page, or if you don't, you can go to YouTube.
we have Facebook up, and we're not getting it.
Okay. Are you going to Jerry McKee or it's Skill Community? It's your life.
Community, it's your life.
Uh-huh.
hmm
And
So we should try YouTube.
either under Jerry McKee, you can go to YouTube and check it out. It should be on Facebook. It's on like 3 different places on Facebook. And Sean, I mean, your fan called.
I know. She is a big fan of mine for sure.
Well, she's got to be.
Okay. Well, we'll try to get on YouTube and get it because we can't get it on. Wait a minute.
It's on there.
Maybe this is.
Yeah, my engineer come out of the office and she don't know it, but y'all could see her too. she won't be back out now, Sean.
That That is funny.
But it is on it's on my channel also, Jerry McKee, Jerry Keith McKee, on Facebook.
Okay, we'll try it. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
That's right, folks. You can call in and talk to Sean or ask him a question, put him on the spot. His dark secret. Yes.
Oh gosh. That is too funny.
So,
But getting back to what you were asking, like I said, my great grandparents they played country music years ago, and I got drawn into that country music because both of them played a guitar and a steel guitar, and so I was drawn into singing. And my aunt that just called, she and her husband took me to my first gospel singing when I was probably about maybe 7, 8 years old, something like that. And I went to go see the McKameys in Spartanburg.
oh, okay.
So, yeah, I went there and I was drawn into that style of music and that Southern gospel style of music. I loved it. And I guess the first time I ever sang in front of people, my family knew that I sang because I'd sing around the house all the time. But the first time I ever sang out live or anywhere, it was at Hawkland Funeral Home, and it was actually on Christmas Day.
So here you are. Your first debut, like yes, is where's that? Well, it's a big grand hall there at the Hawkins Funeral.
At the Hawkland Funeral Home, yeah. And so yeah, I got up. I got there to the funeral home, and there was a lot of people there, and I was so scared. So I got up. I went to the bathroom there, and I've shared this story several times when I've been out singing. But I went into the bathroom over there at Hawkland Funeral Home, and I said, "Lord, will you just please stop my heart?" And what I meant was, what I meant to say was, "Lord, will you just calm me down?" So ever since I prayed that prayer in that bathroom over there at the funeral home that day, I went out there, and when it was my time to get up to sing, me being probably like I said 7, 8, 9 years old, not even quite sure, but I got up and never thought nothing else about it.
Now you were you talking about the country music. You was kind of started out kind of in the root of the country music,
Mhm.
And a lot of people really don't know that some of the country music come from some of the gospels, like some of the
Mhm.
blues and that did. What was one of your favorite country and western singer?
Well, I loved when I was little, and I still do today. I love to hear the Judds sing. Naomi and Winona. I
Uh-huh.
love them. And my favorite song was Grandpa Tell Me About the Good Old Days. So I love that style of country music. I love that old style. I loved it.
Now I got to ask you this. Now you say you sung at the funeral, and a lot of people there.
Hmm.
Was it actually a funeral, or
Yeah, it
did
was a
they have?
funeral. Yes. Hmm.
Well,
Yeah, it was
so
pretty
how
sad.
did you get at 7 years old? Somebody gonna come up and say, says, "Okay, son, we're going to have you sing at a funeral." I mean, I would be devastated.
I was scared. For one thing, like I said, that's one reason why I went into the bathroom and prayed. But I was scared, and I said, I don't know. I guess the guy that asked me, the family asked me, he said, get up there and just sing like you've never sang before. And I said, okay. So I was scared to death. But anyway, I don't know how I got caught up in that. So, but
What you remember what song you sung?
it was a song called "I'm Almost Home." Hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm almost home. Yeah.
Well, that's a great story, really. And after that, did you start? I know sometimes uh, 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 some parents and all they'll drag their kids up front, says, you know, they're going to sing a song, and
Hmm.
some of them sing good, and woo, I did karaoke at the fair one time, and believe
Uh-huh.
me, I think it's 99% were bad.
Right.
They don't need to go to American Idol or anything like that. They need to,
Yeah.
like so. Did you sing when you was small? Like did it take you to church a lot to sing?
They did, yes. Well, my aunt, there again, the one that called in, my mother wasn't going to church at the time, and so she and her husband got me to go into their church when I was very small, and I got drawn into their choir singing. I got drawn into. There were trios that came up and they sang, and I got drawn into that gospel music, and I loved it. And when I started going to my home church, which was Otterey Baptist Church, um, I kind of, I would sit back and I was scared to. I was going to ask them, could I sing in the choir? So I'd sit up on the front row and I'd sing as loud as I could, on the front row. And finally,
That's almost like being in the choir, wasn't
right,
it?
yeah. And finally, the choir director, she come to me one day and she said, we don't allow children to come up in the choir. She said, but I think we can make a sacrifice or whatever it was for you. And I said, okay. So I got up there, and my voice being as high as it was at that time, they put me on the soprano line. So I was up there singing with all them women. And then, later on, as I got older, my voice started changing,
Well,
and I had to find different parts to sing. So, yeah.
uh, a story with Richard Sturban. He's the one that sings bass with Oak Ridge Boys. You
Yeah.
got the real bass,
Yes.
Richard Sturban,
Yes.
and he was telling me that when he was singing in the choir, they had him in the soprano end of it,
Mm,
and then when school broke,
mhm,
and he come back that summer
mhm.
and joined the choir,
Right.
he had that big bass
Bass
voice.
voice.
He
Yeah.
said they had to move him over, so it's
Oh, yeah.
kind of like what because you got a good high tenor voice.
Hmm.
And so did that change like seem like overnight or just over a few months or
It's something that I had to find my voice, if that makes sense.
hmm
I had to find it. I've always been drawn to tenor singers in quartets. Um, all the soprano singers, I've always been drawn to them.
right.
And every time I would hear a song, I would try to go for that high range, to do, and I still do. But as I've got older, I see that I have my limits, on singing some of those songs and hitting some of those high parts.
So you got to step on your toe to get a little higher up, right?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, I have to squeeze my hands, real tight. Yeah.
Now, when you did you have any voice lessons or you just
I No,
growing up?
I did not. No. I just listened. I was listening my whole entire life. I've always listened to music. Um, I've listened to music since I was old enough to work a cassette player, and I'm
What is that?
a cassette player, just a little bitty thing that you put in a.
And you always carried a pencil with you to kind of wind them back up,
Yes,
right?
yes, if
Yeah.
they got out of control, yes. But yeah, ever since I could like work a cassette tape or a CD, I've always listened to music. And I always love to hear harmony. I love to hear, the different parts and
Right.
different things. I love to hear that. And I got I guess, like I said, as I got older, my voice it learned where it was. So
Right. So
somewhat.
that so when you hit that higher voice
Hmm.
now,
Hmm.
as you mature and practice, and that's one of the key things,
Hmm.
right? Is really practicing,
Right.
and you do a lot of practice because you sing
A
every
lot,
Sunday
yeah. Hmm.
and several times,
Yeah.
and where you work at, I imagine you're singing along there
Oh
too.
yeah. Oh yeah.
But you can now you have more control
Hmm.
because of maturity and more
Right.
wisdom on how to do it.
Right.
Who were some of your inspirations, as far as in the gospel scene, that helped you uh, kind of kind of take control of your voice?
Um, One person in particular, I mean, that I've always really listened to, and there again, it was a female singer, Kim Hopper from the Hoppers. I've
Okay.
always loved her voice. She has a dynamic voice, and back years ago, I mean, she could hit these notes like nobody's business. But Kim Hopper has, I've listened to her placements and how she places the notes and the parts and things, and so I've learned a little bit from that. Um, I mean, I could probably sit here and go on and on and on about people, but I mean, she would be the one that would stand out to me.
Yeah.
She's always been a big inspiration to me as far as how she carried herself and how she presented herself as far as singing and vocally.
Well, see, my problem that I have in singing is that concentration.
Mm-hmm.
I can be in the choir, and I used to have this little lady, Frankie
Right.
Knox, and she'd be beside me in the choir,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd be singing along, and I get distracted. It's almost like a squirrel,
Yeah.
and I look around,
Yeah.
and she's taking her elbow. She's going boom, boom. I had sore ribs.
Right.
I
Right.
thought, I was getting beat up at church when I got home,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll be in first verse, everybody else be on second verse,
Right.
or I didn't jump down to number four. Then I
Right.
already forgot where they was at, and I said there, and I did this at church.
Uh-huh.
This is horrible. We was live, streaming,
Right.
and I forgot to have a microphone on, and I lost my place, and I was going da 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 da.
Wow.
So it does. Imagine take some concentration,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
it does. Yeah, you have to be on point when you sing. You have to be zoned in to what you're doing for sure. Yeah. Hmm.
Now you've written some songs.
I have written 2 songs in my whole entire life. Now I didn't do anything with them. I have sang them a cappella when I've been out singing, like doing a concert or something like that. But um, when I graduated high school, I went up to a school up in Nashville, Tennessee, called the Steve Hurst School of Music.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my teachers up there encouraged us all to go back to our dorms one night and write a song. Well, I had never written a song. I have sang, all my life, but I had never written anything. So I went back to the dorm and I wrote this song. I got into the dorm and I was by myself. I prayed and I asked God to give me a song to write. I said, because I don't know what I'm doing. I said, but I want to make 100 on this test. I said, I want to make something big out of this. So my aunt taught me. I'm talking about her a lot on this show, but my aunt taught me a verse, and it's Psalms 56:3, and it says, "At what time I am afraid, I will trust in Thee." So I thought about that verse in the Bible, and then I went back and I started writing down all these lyrics. I started thinking about my own personal life. Then I started thinking about everyone else's life that has ever come into my life. I'm thinking about their hardships and their times that they've had trouble and different things. And I titled the song "When I Am Afraid, I Will Trust in Thee." So that's what I titled the song is. So yeah.
Well, in some of your songs, and I've talked to a lot of musicians that talk about they write about some things that either happened to them
Hmm.
or some type of feelings that they experienced in life.
Right.
Um, Now, when you were singing as a young boy in church,
Hmm.
did you have that opportunity when they come to you and says, Sean, I want you to sing a solo, and
Um,
what was that feeling like?
I'll be honest with you. Anytime someone come and ask me, to do a solo or whatever, I was kind of excited about it. I mean, I was kind of excited because I love to sing, and it didn't bother me to stand up in front of people and sing. So I mean, I was every time I was got the opportunity to sing, I'd do it. I would sing.
Well, did you ever somebody says, hey, won't you go on to one of these reality shows like American Idol, American Got Talent? You ever thought about doing that?
I have thought about doing that one time, but I only sing gospel music.
Right.
That's what I mean. I sing. That's what I've got on in my hands to do.
You don't sing no Wyona.
You know,
You don't sing any Wyona
I
song.
mean, yeah, if I go somewhere and like sing the karaoke or something like that somewhere, yeah. But
Well, I should have set mine up here and we put a Wyona on there.
well, hey, we could have done something, yeah. But no, people has asked me, would I would be interested in doing that, and I don't think so because you can only get so far with gospel music. I watched
And that's sad. It really
It is,
is.
yeah. Yeah, I watched Amber Nealon from the Nealons. The Nealons that just got killed back in a
Yes.
couple of months back. Um, I watched her get so far with that, and it wasn't too pretty.
Well, it's sad to say is that people now has gotten moved away from church and moved
Mhm.
away from uh, they just pushing everything to another different
Right.
value. When I know when I was growing up, and you too, is that you hear some good gospel singing,
Mhm.
it kind of moves your soul.
Mhm. Right.
And that's what and the person that's singing it has to have that value too, because I
Mhm.
know some went on astray
Mhm.
and kind of hurt that in a way.
Right.
But I know you've been to our church and sang great, and people loved it.
Mhm.
And but you got to have, and to me, I just think a gospel group, a person singing gospel music, he's got to kind of live that way.
Right. Yeah.
And
I'd agree with that. I would agree with that. Yes, sure.
well, and of course I've known you a good while, and I know that every time I see you, you're really bubbly and kind of. I don't think you ever had a sad day or nothing, because
I've had a lot of sad days. No,
I know you're coming out to Dario down there. You think you're smiling here. Who got this cheeseburger? Me, me, me. Like a little dog over
That's
there
too
saying.
funny. No, I mean, yeah, I do have some bad days, but I get up every morning and it's like it's like I've always said, you get up and you have a choice every day that you get up,
Mhm.
and you can make something of it in a good way or make something of it in a bad way.
Yeah, and people don't realize that you're singing and you get asked to sing all kind of different places. We're going to show some little pictures here. We're going to discuss here in a moment, and they really don't know that you do more than singing. You work. To me, I think you work about 10 jobs, because every time I see you over there working somewhere or another,
Right,
I think
right.
they see you coming and says, "Sean, come here and help us over here." Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. And but does that give you an opportunity to either spread the gospel, or they said, "You're Sean, you sung, I heard you sing," and
Yeah.
do you have people come up and ask you all the time?
I have people come up to me and ask me all the time about so you talking about salvation, about the Lord, or just in general singing or
It's singing and about
yeah.
God, yes.
Yeah. I do have a lot of people asking me that on my jobs. I teach school at Foster Park Elementary, and also I work at the Dario
Yes.
one day a week. I work one day a week there.
And
um,
I try to pick those weeks too, because I figure I know if he's back there fixing my sandwich, he's gonna make it big.
yeah. Well, I don't make sandwiches. No, I smile and grin at people and take orders. So. but yeah, I do have a lot of jobs. I keep myself busy for sure, and I also lead music at our church at Hebron Baptist. So yeah, I stay busy a lot, and but as far as being on my other jobs, being working at school, and working at the Dario, people do know that I sing, and people do know that I sing gospel music,
Hmm.
and they'll come up and they'll say, hey, they'll ask me like random questions about things, and I'll just go along with it and say yes or no or whatever. So
Well, with your singing, it gives you an opportunity to spread the gospel. It,
Mhm.
it it opens that door, and that's why I tell a congregation and people that you've got to have. There's something that you can have that door open.
Right,
Somebody
right.
can either ask you, or you can go up to them, or something.
Hmm.
You can always open the door, and you got, of course, a good niche there
Yeah.
to,
Oh
to,
yeah.
to, to open it up.
Oh yeah.
And I know that I was in front of La Fagata, and we seen this great big old bus pull up. You got out of that bus. I said, what Sean do? Did he hijack a bus or what?
Oh, that's funny.
Tell me about that bus trip.
I was trying to think of what bus you're talking about because I've been in several. Our church.
Hitchhiking a log, right?
Yes, yes. Our church at Hebron Baptist, we have a lot of gospel singers that come in, and so every once in a while, we'll take the groups out to eat or whatever. So sometimes they'll say, well, we're coming back down this way. Would you like to get on our bus and ride with us? We'll come into the parking lot. And I was like, well, yeah, I'm not going to pass up that opportunity. So yeah, I'll get on the bus with them. But I'm trying to think. I remember the day I saw y'all. and I got off the bus, but I can't remember what
Yeah,
group.
and I know the group. Well, probably I think I got a picture on that group on here
Mm-hmm.
that we'll go through here in just a moment.
Okay. All right.
But I just thought it was funny, you know, because we see everywhere, because
Right.
you know, work everywhere, and you're singing everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and I see your name coming up. You're singing with this group. You're singing this over
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
and I just thought it was funny. Like, but doors open up. It's like da da, and here
That
comes
is
Shon.
funny.
Hey, everybody!
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I get excited about that. Yeah. When I was little, I've always told my mama when I was little, I said, Mama, I want to get on the bus and just tour the world singing. That's what I want to do. I want to get on the bus and just tour the world. That's my biggest dream, you know. So, every time I, get a chance to hop on one of them buses with somebody, yeah, I'll get on there with them for sure. Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing of it is, like I was waiting for you to have like one in Porter Wagner coats on, you know, with all the clean stuff like that, you like that.
I probably got one of those at home somewhere.
So you know what I should have done with so many people standing around on that big bus pulls in, like I showed up there and says, "Sean, let me get an autograph. Let me get an autograph."
Yeah,
You
you
know,
should have. Yeah.
and so you get some pictures, you know, of yourself
Right, right.
and hand them out.
Right. Hey. Yeah.
Well, see, I do that in restaurants. People come up. You know how people go in and they'll tell you, well, you know, would you take a picture of me?
Mm-hmm.
And or a group and stuff, and the
Hmm.
waitress says, "Oh yeah, I'll take one." So
Right.
what I do is I come up and ask them. I said, "Will you take a picture of me?" She says, "What? Of all of y'all?" I says, "No, just me." She says,
Yes.
"Okay, I'll take a picture of you." I
Right.
said, "Great," and I pull out a picture and I hand it to them.
Oh wow.
And I get some great responses from that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
and some most of them get it, but yes, some don't. They sit there,
Hmm.
they got strange.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I just thought it
That's
was
kind of
funny.
weird for you.
But I thought it was so funny that you being on coming getting off that bus
Yeah.
and
I I want to say maybe the group they're called Oasis. Maybe it was them.
it might
But
have
there
been.
again, I can't remember because they have been several that I've gone on the bus with. So I don't know.
Well, we're going to show some pictures right now,
I hope they're good pictures.
and you kind
Okay.
of glance on here too
Okay.
to see them. And let's take this over here. And what and one of them I really have a question that
Okay.
you've been slimed. I didn't know if you got with the you know Ghostbusters or what, you know, but I want to ask you about this one here.
All right.
And there we go.
Uh,
Now,
yes. Okay, so me and my wife and some of her friends, we went to this place called Beat the Bomb in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's like escape rooms. So you go into these places and you have to get out of there by playing video games, pretty much. And it
well,
takes like a
that's pretty
crowd.
cool.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun, but you have to be in shape to do that kind of stuff. I'm
No,
not in
no,
shape
no.
to
Wait a
do.
minute. I got. Wait a minute. Let's go back to getting shape now. It's already getting fun to it now. It's getting hard. I know most of these escape rooms, and I've been in several of them, that you got to figure out all these things to
Yeah,
get out like
right.
that. But this one, you got to play game.
You have to play video games on, and the video games it shows you what to do on the screen, and then you have to do them on the wall there. So it's really crazy. But anyway, we went there, and the very last thing that you do, you can either get slimed, or you can either get foamed, or paint blown out at you.
Okay. Well,
So,
hold that thought one
okay,
second.
all right.
These guys have been slimed.
Yes. Yes, that is me on the end, and that's my wife on the other end, and the two guys in the middle are our friends. Well, mercifully, they're her work buddies, but anyway, yeah, I come to know them very well.
Now
So,
they gave you the goggles and all that stuff to put on for you to get slimed.
yes, sir. I made sure of that because yeah, I'm very in particular about my pretty hair, so I don't want anything to like mess it up. So I made sure my whole entire body was covered.
Yeah, I'm same way with my pretty hair too. Like it. Yes, I let mine blow in the wind.
Yeah.
But I was looking at this. I got to show this. I got to
Yeah.
ask him about the slime here.
Right.
You know, and you said they had foam also.
Yeah, you had a choice between the slime, foam, or paint. Yeah. So my wife, she picked the slime, and I'm glad she did because if we'd have got paint or foam, would have got blown against the wall. So I'd rather have all that slime come down on me. Yeah.
That's pretty cool though.
Oh yeah.
And oh, I don't mind a little slideshow here. There we go.
Yeah.
Now the Chuck Wagon Gang. They have been around a lot. I remember when I was little. They don't look like older than I am.
Right. Well, there've been some changes in the group for sure over the years. The Chuck Wagon Gang, the lady that's got the black hair, her grandmother was the original alto singer for the Chuck Wagon Gang.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, her name is Shay.
I remember my dad
Shay's
used to
familiar.
used to watch them on. It was a show that used to come on on Sunday mornings, and then they. I remember always hearing it says, "And here's the Chuck Wagon Gang."
Oh yeah.
And that you had it Hebrews, right?
Hebron, yeah.
Hebron? I
Yeah.
mean, not
Yeah.
Hebrews.
Yeah.
Hebrews. Yeah, y'all had them Hebrews back in Jesus. Before Jesus' day.
Right.
Moses had them on the ark.
Right. But yeah, we had them down at Hebron, and what was so fun about that group, I actually got to sing with them.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, they sing a song called Higher,
Uh-huh.
and that's exactly what it is. I got up there, and me and the soprano had a little battle out of the higher going up because it does a lot of key changes.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm just saying, I kind of overdid her, so
Uh-oh.
yeah.
Did they?
I won the battle, so.
Now, they hadn't heard you sing before, have
No,
they?
they had never heard me sing before. They was actually not going to call anybody up on stage with them to sing until I started leading the first hymn of the church that morning.
Uh-huh.
So they all looked at one another. I see them. I could see them when I was leading the music, and so they all looked at one another and they said, "Yeah, we're gonna get him to sing." So yeah, when they called me up there, I was very shocked because that was something big to me.
Well,
So,
just don't put no pressure on you, right?
all right, yeah, yeah. Because for one thing, I didn't know what song we were doing until I got up there.
And you know the song?
So I did know the song. Yes, I love that song. Yeah,
Well, that was a good point.
yeah, yeah.
Now, here's the hoppers you was talking about.
Yes, sir.
And tell me who they are. Which lady you was talking about really
The
inspired
lady
you?
right here and the brown, she's in the very front right there.
Oh, okay.
She's a brown-headed lady. Yeah,
In the front?
front. Yeah, little short lady almost looks like.
Right. You can point it to me, but the rest of them can't see you point.
Okay, yeah, that's her. But yeah, it's her name's Kim. But yeah, her in-laws, which are these two right here, the older gentleman and the older lady right here, they don't travel anymore. So
Okay.
yeah, it's just pretty much three hoppers that travel now.
Three
So, yeah,
hoppers.
three hoppers that
Yeah.
travel now. Yeah.
We're going to have the three hoppers now.
Three
You know what?
hoppers,
That's kind of like in the 50s or something, like 60s music.
Uh-huh.
Like it. And here's the hoppers.
Yeah.
And no, they didn't have the bus. Or did they?
Yeah, they do have a bus. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It might have been one because I've seen you on two buses.
Yeah. I've never got on the hoppers bus.
Oh, okay.
I did one time, and that was just to look around. But no, I've never rode with them or anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Now we got the Chuck Wagon Gang still on the left over there, but I had to show. Now tell us about this hat.
Okay. Our church goes to this youth conference every year called Arise Youth Conference.
Yes,
We
I'm
go there
very familiar with it.
Yes, we go there every July. And last year we were the pink team. Well, this year we're the pink team too. And this hat belonged to someone that was in our group. So I just jerked it off their head and put it on mine and wore it around that day at Dollywood. That was at Dollywood, actually.
Well, you say so much about your hair, and to see that hat, I said, "Oh, we're going to ask him about this hat, a pink hat at that." I says, "I bet you got some good comments on that."
Oh yeah, people was looking. I sure stopped traffic for sure. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now over here,
Oh yeah.
you were at Paget's Creek?
Yes, I sang at Paget's Creek back in March. Yes, of this year. Yes, I've been out there several times to sing for them. I love them people. They're sweet people.
Well, I know that's a good poster.
Well, thank you.
That's good graphics.
Well, the lady that you see, can they see that picture right there on this side?
Do I now?
Can they see this picture on this side?
Yes.
Okay. So the blonde-headed lady is one that actually made that poster. She designed that poster for me.
Well, she did a good job.
Yes, she
And
did.
see, when you get little things like that, you need to hold on to them where you can get signatures and give them out
Right.
like that, or someone gets up like this, we're going to have an auction.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know. That's fun.
And somebody's going to have it. Says one day, Shon Morris, I know him.
My goodness.
Now the group on the right,
That is the Griffins. Angela and Tim Griffin. I'm very good friends with them. They live in Spartanburg or Bowling Springs, somewhere in that area. But yeah, I'm very good friends with Angela and Tim. That's their group, the Griffins. They were singing and thinking Greer that night. That picture
okay.
was taken, yeah.
That's where the picture in Greer
Right.
was taken.
No.
Now, I'm curious about this. Is this helping you doing one of your studios, or is he helping you edit?
Yes, this is actually my cousin, and him and another gentleman, they have a recording studio, and so I started April.
Here in Union, or
No, in Spartanburg, sorry,
Spartanburg?
yeah. And I started the first week of April recording 6 songs.
Oh, okay.
Yes, for a new CD.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a new CD that's coming out hopefully in July. Yes.
Family request.
No.
No.
No, family request has already been made.
Okay, I started saying you brought it in, you showed it there, and
no.
gosh, can confuse me. I'm
so
already
sorry.
confused, Sean.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm 70 years old and I'm wandering out in the yard now.
Yeah.
The neighbors have to call away and then tell her to come and get me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, this is my cousin.
And what's the name of the studio? Does he have a name, or he just does it?
It has a name I can't remember right offhand. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Oh, your cousin's going to get you now.
Oh yeah, he probably is if he's watching.
You had a chance.
Yeah. To say something about our studio, promote it. Yeah. Sorry.
Yes. Yes. We're talking about Super Sean. When he gets ready to sing,
gosh, yeah,
he'll go in the back room and he comes out as Super Sean, the gospel singer.
So we had, I think, Read Across America that day. This was actually at the school, and I dressed up like Captain Underpants. That's what that is, and that's the whole point of that picture there. So I dressed up like Captain Underpants. Yeah. So
well, I am glad that you didn't go with the full underpants thing.
Well, if you really zoom in on the picture there, that picture,
oh, you've got it over top.
Yes, yeah. The character that's actually on the T-shirt, if you actually zoom in, he's wearing nothing but the cape and the underwear.
Okay. I was just thinking, that you went full character.
Oh, well, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
What was that for?
It was for Read Across America, teaching, telling children that they need to read more. And I don't know the full story behind Read Across America. I think we've done it several years, but it's something that they do. So
I know my daughter Susan. She used to teach in Monarch, and they had a skit that they did,
right,
and with the Joker that stole the books and all that stuff. I videoed it. Right. It's pretty cute. You get the kids to read more, and all. That's pretty neat.
Oh yeah.
Now on the right, it's Family Request, and it's a CD that you have now out.
I have them available. Yes.
Now when is your new CD going to come out?
Hopefully sometime in July.
Okay.
I'm planning on having that out in July.
All right. Well, we're going to switch back to you here.
Okay.
And go back to get the right name up there. There we go. Now, what are some of this? You said sometime in July. Now, how will people know how to purchase or?
Well, a lot of people, they know how to get in touch with me.
Oh yes,
like through the schools and also working at the dairy.
Yeah, I know what day you're there.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm friends with a lot of people on Facebook. A lot of people I don't even know really. So.
Right.
But anyway, I'm friends with a lot of folks on Facebook, and some people know how to get in touch with me for sure.
Yeah.
So
And you also have this one here. Go ahead,
I
hold.
do have that. Yes.
Here, I'll let you hold that up.
Okay. All right.
Family
Family
request.
Yeah.
And how many? It looked like it had a bunch. It's got a bunch of songs on there.
I've got 10 songs put on here. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of songs that I pretty much sang from other groups. They sang, and it's a lot of songs that you don't hear anymore.
Mhm.
And I sang a lot of these in church. So I let my family pick all these songs out on here. So that's the reason why I called it Family Request.
Well, it looks sharp on there. I mean,
Well, thank you. I want to say,
besides the Captain Underpants,
Yeah.
you look good there.
right. Well, I want to say this. I think that Lee Littlejohn, Lee Littlejohn?
Yes.
Okay, I think Lee Littlejohn took that picture. I was singing somewhere, maybe in Simpsonville, and I think that we were all on tour doing a Carolina Christmas, and that was actually a Christmas picture. So, so he took that, and matter of fact, when I first came out with this CD, he said, "Hey, you owe me some royalties for this." I said, "Okay, I'll see what I can do."
See, well, wait a minute. You already gave him credit, right?
Right.
That's
right,
it.
Right. Right. Gave him credit for it. Yes.
So, Little John photography.
Right. Well, John. But,
But people don't realize the hard work that goes in to singing, producing what you want to put on a CD, the manufacturing of it, how to get all this stuff here.
make sure your vocals are clear when you go.
It picks up everything, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it does. For sure.
Heavy breathing and all. 'Cause
Yeah.
I know I've heard my singing.
Yeah.
He's out of breath.
Yeah. Where's the oxygen tank at? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I did have somebody do that at karaoke one time.
Oh,
They come up to sing karaoke and just bring their oxygen tank with them.
that's too funny.
I was hoping they were going to hit the high notes.
Oh, wow.
That's bad. I
At
know.
least they tried, and that's all that matters. So.
Yeah, Lord forgive me
Oh, yeah.
for that one. Well, we're going to listen to one of your songs.
Okay.
One of your
actually on here.
one of your videos.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is this your first video that you made?
This is my very first video I've ever made. Yes.
Well, I tell you what, they did a good job with it. It captured me. It's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
So we're going to go and let you listen to it now. Click it over.
When the time comes and I'm standing at the river that separates the two worlds that I love, torn between my precious friends and my family, and the place of peace that's waiting up above. Hold my hand and stay there by my side, and when I finally step into the tide, celebrate me home, celebrate me there, celebrate me in that land of wonder where nothing can compare. Celebrate me in that place, celebrate me saved by grace. Don't just sit and weep because I'm gone. Celebrate me home. I have spent most of my life on earth preparing to take the trip from here to heaven's door. And with the shield and word of God to guide me, it's a comfort knowing I am not alone. So when I take my final fleeting breath and fade into that gentle sleep of death, celebrate me home. Celebrate me there, celebrate me in that land of wonder where nothing can compare. Celebrate me in that place, celebrate me saved by grace. Don't just sit and weep because I'm gone. Celebrate me home. No more broken dreams and no more tears to cry. Into my Father's arms I'll fly. Celebrate me home, celebrate me there, celebrate me in that land of wonder where nothing can compare. Celebrate me in that place, celebrate me saved by grace. Don't just sit and weep because I'm gone. Celebrate me home. Celebrate me home.
That was great. And how in the world did you hold that note and then went up higher with it? I would pass out.
Well, I can't do that no more. COVID hit and that kind of messed me up with that. uh,
Now, was that is that Grace Church?
that's Grace Methodist Church.
Yes. Okay. I thought I recognized some of the
Yes.
things there. You know, there's sanctuary up there similar to the Union Presbyterian Church in there with the pipe organ.
Yes, it is.
Oh, very, very similar to it. Uh, how long did it take you to do that video?
That video was probably maybe close to maybe 5 to 6 hours just to do all that. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And see, I know it had to take a good while
Yes.
because I've done some videos for even an ad or a political ad,
Mhm.
a 30 seconds or a minute, and it could take few
Oh
hours.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And did you mess up any? Tell me, do you have any bloopers in there?
I had a lot of bloopers. Yes, I did. I was lip singing. You know, can I tell this on here?
Yes, go ahead. Tell it all. Tell it all.
I hate to give things away, but you know, I'm just saying. Um, yeah, you know, you had to lip sync to a lot of that stuff,
Right.
and it was just it wasn't too good. So because I had to think of how I sang the song in the recording studio, and then I said, okay, it's got to match that. So,
Right.
and if I cut off or if I went out longer than it was supposed to, you would know it. So yeah, so I had a lot of bloopers in that. Yes.
Then you had to run in and says, I know what I'll do. I'll turn into Underpants Man. And
No. Underpants Man would have probably messed it up too. For sure.
yeah, and see, and some of the younger artists, the reason I asked you this is because they think, you know, they'll come and shoot this video and we get it done with, oh, it's only going to be, it's one song, 4.5, 5 minutes, whatever like that. We'll be in and out real quickly.
No.
It doesn't work that way, does it?
No, you plan to stay all day for something like
Yeah.
this. Yes.
And you know, it comes down to the editing, doesn't it?
Yes.
You better have a good editor
Right.
and know what he's doing in that to match up everything. Because
I had a wonderful editor. I did. His
your
name,
aunt, right?
No, my aunt didn't know. No, my aunt did that. No, Jason Blue. I go to church with his mom and dad. So yes, he done a lot. He foozled around a lot with the recordings and different things, and had a studio. So he actually done that video. So he actually made the CD as well.
He did a good job.
Jason Blue did a fantastic job. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
he did.
you know, and I would have never known you was lip singing that.
Yeah. Yeah, don't tell nobody.
No, no.
Don't tell nobody.
All right, everybody, we're not telling that.
No, don't go out and tell that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that anyone that's made videos knows that you have to do that because,
Yes.
I mean, to me, I'm thinking, okay, he's got to sing and then he's got to stop and start all over again to get to that point, and we're going to shoot this over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it went, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly what it went. Yeah. Far beyond that. Far beyond that.
And it's really it gets tiring, doesn't it?
Yes.
Especially when he says, "Okay, we got to do that over again." What?
Well, like I was telling you earlier before we went on, I sweat a lot, and so yeah, sweating and hair deflating and all this other kind of stuff. Yeah, it wasn't too good. So I
You
had to
did,
keep going back into the bathroom and wiping my face off and having
hair. Wait a minute. You're a star. You're supposed to have your makeup people and your hair people that comes in, and fluffs you up. And
I was a one-man band. So yeah, I was a one-man band.
I've been a one band man for many, many years.
Yeah.
I'm a roadie,
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Now, you take much equipment when you go out and sing, or do you just
No,
depend,
I
depends
actually
on?
sing the old-fashioned way. I take CDs with me, and I have the church to run my sound for me, and I just sing from their equipment.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
and it's kind of hard to do that
Mhm.
because you might have someone that runs the soundboard that's really not
Trained.
professional.
Yes. Yeah.
And I usually like to have, like I said, I've had you at my church there to get you there earlier enough to practice where I can bring this up and that
Right.
up like that to make you say, okay, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Sound check is very important.
Oh, yes. That's why I tell people that comes on my show that come just a little bit early, not 2 hours early,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
but at least 15 minutes early to sit down, and that way we discuss what we're going to talk about, and I try to make the guests comfortable where they don't have to sweat and use the whole box of napkins or
I know.
nothing.
I've done already used probably about 2 or 3 of these.
Well, since you're not charging me, I'll charge for those.
Right. Right.
Now, how can people? I know they can come see you at Dario and they and pop in at your work everywhere, but you don't want people doing that. How can people contact you? What is the best way to contact you if they want you to come and sing at their church? And
Um. Well, I mean, there again, a lot of people contact me on Facebook. I have a
Right.
Facebook page. Also have my telephone number, which I don't give out to everybody, but
Right, and we don't want to do that.
no,
It's,
but
you need to get you a Google number now.
yeah, I have to do that. But yeah, Facebook has been it's been the most biggest thing to reach out for me.
It usually is Facebook is like it.
Yeah.
Right now, I've got you on 8 different channels.
Wow.
Live from Kick to Twitch TV
Yeah.
to all these other channels.
Right.
And so they definitely can find you on there, and they can also will be able to find you on Spotify and Amazon and music and a couple others there. So,
but yeah, Facebook, Shon Morris. Make sure you spell my name right. SHON.
that's right, not SHAWN.
Yeah, yeah. Me and one of my teacher friends, me and him were talking about this the other day. He said, we have a lot of people that spell Sean several different ways. I said, yeah, I know. I said, I've dealt with that all my life. So yeah.
But your last name's pretty common, Morris. You
Yeah, Morris.
Get that right.
Yeah.
See, my last name's McKee, but I get McGee
Yeah.
a lot. So when somebody's searching for me, it says McGee. I can't find you.
Yeah.
I just spell it.
Right. But yeah, people can they can message me on there pretty much, and now when I get to know I'm gonna get to know people personally, excuse me. Yes, I'll give them my number and say, hey, call me anytime, I'll come to your church and sing. So,
Right.
yeah.
And but they also got to realize, don't give you a short notice. Hey, can you come tomorrow?
Right.
Because you do have several different other jobs, especially other gigs, I call them.
I stay busy a whole lot. I tell a lot of people a lot of times I need a secretary. So I need to hire me a secretary to keep my book straight and keep everything going for me.
Well, I was very fortunate. I married one.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have a very good one too.
Yes, and then yeah, and she gets mad at me like I'm in trouble because she tear up the calendar.
Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah, but I stay busy. I stay pretty busy a lot.
Right, and plus you're a director of music at your church,
Right.
and you got to make sure you get someone to fill in there,
Hmm.
and of course your other places that people you got you going.
Right. Hmm.
And what is the furthest that you had to go and sing?
Um, the furthest that I have ever had to go sing, probably when I sang with Gospel Truth Trio, we went out to Arkansas. That's the
Oh,
furthest,
wow.
yeah. Which my wife is from Arkansas,
Hmm.
but she, no, she didn't go with us. That was just our group that went out and sang. But I think that's the furthest I've ever been to sing.
So you went and visited her family without her? Oh,
Yeah, well, I actually didn't go visit her family. So
oh
yeah,
no.
we just went out there to sing and then come back.
Oh, and now I just brought up some memories there.
It's like a 2 day event, yeah. But yeah, I mean,
That's the bus I seen you in, I think.
I don't think so. Yeah,
Really?
no.
I remember
No.
passing you in Oklahoma somewhere or another. It's a casino, I think it was. Where I see.
No, it wasn't a casino. But yeah, that's when I traveled with Gospel Truth Trio. We stayed a lot in South Carolina and North Carolina, Georgia,
Mhm.
and yeah, so we stayed a lot in those
Well,
states.
do you have any events coming up shortly, or any that you can let people know about, or they can, of course, find that information on your Facebook?
I don't have anything up coming up right now. No.
Well, gives you a little bit of break.
It does, yes. I try not to do a lot of things in the summertime, not unless I have to or whatever. But um, yeah. But now, don't get me wrong. If someone calls and they say, "Hey, we need you for something," I'll try to. If I'm available, yeah, I'll jump on it. So, yeah.
I got a feeling if they ask you that you'll make any way to do it. I'm just by knowing you.
I try. I try for sure to make a lot of people happy. With that. Sometimes it don't work out, but
Well,
yeah.
Shon, it's been a pleasure. The hours is already getting up,
Okay.
and I really uh, appreciate you coming on and uh, being with me here and joking about stuff and serious stuff
It's been my pleasure.
and it's been a great time, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
And you're welcome. And folks, you got to tune in next week. Next week is Kids Say the Darndest Things. It will be live, and we've got three young children in the ages from 6, 7, and 8. And if you want to hear what's going on in their household, we're going to ask those children. So, parents, you better watch what you're doing because they see things differently and they're brutally honest. Well, I am Jerry McKee, and thank you for showing up at 7 o'clock, and show up next week at 7 o'clock also, and send Shon some message of love. Go see him at Dario, especially. Have a good evening.